drafted to the Washington Commanders. New ownership, new feel, new vibes, new legacy. And Jayden Daniels, seemingly out of LSU, is the guy.
Jayden Daniels was phenomenal. Jayden Daniels at the quarterback position played phenomenal tonight. Listen, the franchise, the Commander franchise, they got them one.
From being the laughingstock of the NFL and going through a complete roller coaster of emotions for the entire franchise the past few years, to now being in first place in the NFC East and having a quarterback that is doing things that no rookie quarterback has ever done, the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels are turning heads. And I think after last night's performance, we finally got a glimpse of how good Jayden Daniels can be and how they are much closer to challenging for the NFC East division title than people think. And look, I don't want to put the expectations too high, but if Jayden Daniels continues to play like he did last night, he could have a CJ Stroud-esque type of season if the pieces fall the right way. This is a team that can surprise a lot of people and could be a major problem for the NFL. And in today's video, I'm going to go over why they have a legit chance at stealing this division, as well as how the team building around Jayden Daniels has set them up to have one of the brightest futures in the NFL. This is how Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders are about to break the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, football is back, and what better way to celebrate your favorite team than with some autographed memorabilia that is affordable. And don't worry, because today's sponsor of my giveaway has got you covered. Pristine Auction is your one-stop shop for any and everything authentic sports memorabilia. I was lucky enough to win this autographed CJ Stroud helmet that I will be giving away to you guys because we just hit 23,000 subscribers. So shout out to you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. You guys know it means the world to me. And because of you guys showing support for this channel, I went out and I got you guys this helmet that we are going to be giving away to one lucky winner via my Twitter and inside of my Discord. So make sure that you follow the rules inside of there to be entered to win this helmet. Again, this is an autographed helmet authenticated by Fanatics that was autographed by CJ Stroud, the one, the only, the greatest rookie of all time, my favorite player right now, CJ Stroud. All you simply have to do is go to my pinned post on my Twitter, follow the rules there, and you will be entered. And if you want an extra entry, like, comment on this video, and I will make sure to give you an extra entry for the giveaway. But for now, Pristine is offering you $10 off your first winning bid when you use code KRICH10 for $10 off at checkout. Make sure to check them out. They are where I get all my sports memorabilia from. And if you purchase something using code KRICH10 and submit it in my Discord or on that Twitter post, I'll make sure to give you an extra entry. Thank you again to Pristine for sponsoring this giveaway as we just hit 23,000 subscribers. And more importantly, thank you to you guys for supporting me and allowing me to do this full time. But for now, let's get back into the video. All right, so I think it's safe to say that after the week 3 games, besides Justin Fields being undefeated and the 49ers completely imploding right now and having their entire roster on the IR, Jayden Daniels has been the biggest headline because, well, he looks great right now and is possibly the best quarterback from this past year's draft class. I mean, since day one, people have compared him to Lamar Jackson and sometimes even criticized him for tucking the ball when his first read wasn't there and running the ball too much. But after last night's performance, Jayden Daniels shut up all of those people. And look, I don't know if there's a more deserving franchise than the Washington Commanders that honestly needs to have just a good quarterback come through their building. They haven't had one since literally RG3, or if you want to argue, like maybe Kirk Cousins when he had his game that he yelled if you like that and all that. But I mean, besides that, they haven't had a good quarterback in the past like 10 years, or at least that franchise guy. Like, I mean, for years, it seems like they've always been one pick away with RG3 first and then missing out on Andrew Luck, and then going on in 2020 to miss out on Joe Burrow by one pick yet again, having to take Chase Young. And then we fast forward to the 2024 draft and everyone thought it was the same thing all over again, missing out on the generational talent in Caleb Williams and having to settle for QB2 and Jayden Daniels. But it looks like the exact opposite, and that the Commanders have landed the best quarterback from this class so far. And yes, I know Caleb Williams is improving each week also, as is Bo Nix slightly too each week, but the stride in the showing we just saw Jayden Daniels put out on national TV, like that was just completely unheard of by any of these quarterbacks. I think this tweet too, and kind of we all saw the whole stat that he did break too, just shows how well Daniels Daniels played in the game on Monday Night Football too. Like, the dude made history breaking Dak Prescott's previous record and achieving the highest completion percentage by a rookie ever. And look, straight up, the plays that he was making last night against the Bengals was something straight out of a video game. Like, this dude is looking like a combination of Lamar Jackson with his legs and CJ Stroud with his arm and actually being able to throw from the pocket. Like, this is actually insane right now. The talent he is showing off with his legs alone is record breaking. And I saw this tweet again too, that if he does maintain this pace, he will smash the previous rookie record. And I have no doubt that he may not get to 1.4K rushing yards, but he is definitely going to beat the previous record set by RG3. And look, hands down, by far, this is without a question, Jayden Daniels is he just looks the most comfortable out of any of the rookies that we have seen play this year. And yes, you could argue that Caleb Williams, as I said earlier, is making progress, but with the disaster of an O-line that the Bears have to go along with also the very questionable play calling that the Bears have on Shane Waldron's end, there is just no way in hell that Caleb Williams is going to outplay or outperform Jayden Daniels at this point right now. Like, I mean, straight up, everybody gave credit to Caleb Williams for having the best situation, but as it looks right now, Jayden Daniels has the best situation of any of the rookies in the NFL right now, not only with the talent around him, but also the play calling that Cliff Kingsbury is doing for Jayden Daniels in order for him to be successful. Like, I think it's safe to say that easily after yesterday's performance too, Jayden Daniels is the front runner in the Offensive Rookie of the Year award too. Like, in college, we were so accustomed to seeing Jayden Daniels put highlight reel runs and insane deep ball throws, and not much has needed to change in his playing style, and is looking so comfortable in making insane throws and just making defenders look completely silly with his legs. Like, some of the throws that he was making last night, just the off-platform throws, but also just being on time with a lot of his throws too, was really impressive. And you can kind of see how comfortable he is too, because of just, if you watch the game, the emotion that he was showing throughout the game too really is allowing for him just to play so freely. And now in the first 2 weeks, honestly, it seemed like they kind of had the training wheels on him, more horizontal passes, screens, things of that. He would kind of have to pull the ball down and run with it when he didn't feel comfortable passing it. But like, this past performance on Monday, the training wheels were off. This dude was just sent out there, played so freely. Cliff Kingsbury called a great game for Jayden Daniels, and it worked to a T. Like, before this week, more than 60% of his passes were less than 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, but this week was the complete opposite. And one of the main reasons I think that this was happening too, and honestly why we haven't been paying as much attention to Jayden Daniels, is because everybody's been more critical of Caleb and the Bears and just how bad they've been, and just obviously he's the number one pick. They want to see how well he's performing. But then we get to see Jayden Daniels on national TV, and the dude performs. He goes into a hostile environment in Cincinnati, who's 0-2. They have to win this game, and he completely put everybody on notice. And like, now look, I'm going to go through some of the stats and just some of the throws that this kid has been making for the first 3 weeks, and just, it's actually insane, the stats, how they've gotten increasingly better week by week by week. But also, just when you watch the film of this guy, he just looks so seasoned. Like, he wants to be there, he wants to succeed. This is the guy that the Commanders have wanted, and they finally got a guy that should be their quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years if this does work out. Like, I mean, in week 1, he went 17 of 24 for 184 yards in the air and no passing touchdowns, but in this game was completely able to show off how explosive he was with his legs, scrambling for 88 yards on 16 carries and 2 touchdowns. Then in week 2, he only got better, this time passing for 226 yards on 23 out of 29 attempts and another 44 yards on the ground in his first NFL win. And yes, this game wasn't the prettiest, but he didn't do anything to lose the game, as well as not do anything to win the game. Like, that's exactly what the Commanders need, is just a guy that won't completely take them out of the game. But then we fast forward to the performance that he put up last night on Monday Night Football versus the Bengals, and put together an absolute passing clinic. Like, he absolutely showed how deadly he can be through the air, completing 21 of 23 passes for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then another 39 yards and 1 touchdown with his legs. Again, like, some of the passes that he was able to make just show how talented this guy is with his arm, and is able to throw from so many different angles, not only from the pocket, but also when on the move and being pressured. Like, the final pass that he threw to Terry McLaurin to win the game is a great example of how he stood in the pocket, took an absolute blow from a defender, but delivered an absolute dime in the breadbasket to Terry McLaurin. Like, that is just something so beautiful that you only would imagine in a movie. And not even a rookie to be doing. Not only that too, but even in this game, even though he only rushed for 39 yards, he still was able to absolutely juke this guy out of his cleats and just make them look completely silly. Like, I mean, little has faced Daniels at the pro level. Like, I mean, the craziest thing too is because it was Monday night on national TV, the entire world witnessed the rookie quarterback's poise and how compelling he is. Like, it was exactly what we wanted to see out of Caleb Williams when he played the Texans, but instead we got it out of Jayden Daniels against the Cincinnati Bengals. And now, yes, the future is unknown for how well the Commanders are going to play, but for now, the Commanders look like they have a thrilling quarterback at the helm. And speaking of Terry McLaurin too, it's just really interesting to see how well these two are just kind of vibing together, building that relationship and that camaraderie with each other, and gelling just so much better and getting on the same page, so that way they can make plays like they did last night to win the game for the Commanders. I mean, even in hearing what Terry McLaurin said in the post-game interview on the Scott Van Pelt show really shows how much they believe in Jayden Daniels and love having him as their QB1.
Man, the people want to talk about his size, but they don't want to talk about his heart and his toughness and his poise that he has, and that you find that inside his rib cage, and his the heart and the determination that kid has is unbelievable. And going into that play, I went over to the sideline. I told Cliff, put me into the boundary and let me run a go route for the game. And Jayden was down with that call. And for him to stand back there to give me enough time, because if we got pressed, we wanted to go route. But once he was off, I was like, I got to give him a little double move or something, just to give him enough time to get off my route. And Jayden stuck in there like a grown man and threw enough air on it for me to track it. I just wanted to try to use late hands and get my feet in to win the game. So, honestly, I've just tried to be patient, continue to work, and I think a game like this is really going to spearhead us going into this week coming up, because we're starting to put it together offensively, scoring in the red zone, running the ball well, hitting explosive plays. That's what you got to continue to build on if you want to be good in this league. So for him to come out here on his first primetime game with the game on the line to give me a chance to help win the game, I can't thank my teammates enough, and I'm just so appreciative of God putting me in this situation, allowing me to stay patient and come through for my teammates.
And now one of the biggest things that I think we need to talk about is how just surprising Cliff Kingsbury's play calling has been for Jayden Daniels. Like, as we all know, he was the head coach for the Cardinals, and we know how that turned out. He got fired, went on a vacation, and came back as the Commanders head coach. And through the first 2 weeks, I was a little suspicious. I was a little sus of how many screens this dude was calling for Jayden Daniels. But after last night, I think he finally figured out that if we keep doing what Jayden Daniels was successful with in college and keep applying it in the NFL, then it should work out. And completely as what we saw last night, it worked out. So they need to keep doing more of it. And that's the other thing about Cliff Kingsbury too, is that he may not be the best head coach, but the dude knows how to coach quarterbacks, and that's exactly what he has to do as the offensive coordinator and not a head coach. And while yes, the Commanders will need more offensive playmakers to help Cliff Kingsbury and Jayden Daniels out in the play calling, what is true is that Cliff Kingsbury continues maximizing on the option that he does have available. Like, as crazy as this sounds, Washington scored on all 6 full possessions against Cincinnati, and that extended the streak to 14 consecutive scoring drives dating back to week 1, not including kneel downs. Like, I mean, remarkable doesn't even describe the efficiency that this offense is running at. And speaking of running back Austin Eckler powered the early attack, and McLaurin carried the scoring burden after halftime. But again, this wouldn't be possible without Daniels running the show and Kingsbury calling intelligent plays and allowing his quarterback to feel out the game and be successful. I mean, one of the unsung heroes from the past 3 weeks for the Commanders has been Austin Eckler, and even in last night's game, had 55 yards from scrimmage in the win, with 24 coming on a second quarter touchdown run. And simply put, when your skill players aren't headliners, you look for any advantage. Daniels and Kingsbury are masterful in that regard. They put the ball in the guys' hands that they know they can get it to, and they trust their guys. That's what they need to keep doing, and they're going to keep doing all season long. It did suck to see that Austin Eckler was ruled out after suffering a concussion in the second half, and Dan Quinn did not have an update on the running back status post-game, but it should be safe to say that as long as they can continue running the ball somewhat well, and also on top of that use Jayden Daniels' legs to further run the ball too, they should be completely fine. Like, this dude is going to break records this year. Now, in week 4, the Commanders do travel to Arizona to go and play the Arizona Cardinals, and actually, since the game is in Arizona, they just decided to fly to Arizona, and they're going to be practicing out in Arizona this week. But it's also kind of funny to know that not only is it a revenge game for Cliff Kingsbury, him visiting the Cardinals again, but also to see that Jayden Daniels going back to where he started everything in college. It's kind of crazy to see too. I mean, the kid has 55 starts under his belt. That's like what almost like the old days used to do, where quarterbacks would go in college, play 4 years, and then go into the NFL. This is what we get when we have a quarterback that is just so seasoned, played so many college games. He's seen so many looks on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to continue seeing more looks and just keep flying and being better each year. And he's just going to keep getting better with each game that he does play. Again, I mean, seeing Jayden Daniels last night, I think it fully shows just how well he not only kind of is as an NFL player, but the fact is that he played so many games in college that it's really allowing him to be successful in the NFL. Like the fact that he has, as I said earlier, 55 games under his belt, it really just allows for him to use all of that experience and all of the things that he has seen and kind of be unfazed by all the stuff in the NFL that's going to come up. And I do think that's really going to help benefit him this year and allow him to give that push for not only Rookie of the Year, but also to help the Commanders possibly make a playoff run and kind of do that CJ Stroud thing again. Like the dude is looking like CJ Stroud from last year, but only a little bit better because he can run more than CJ Stroud did. Again, this is only one game. If he can continue to do this, it's going to absolutely break the NFL, but we're going to just kind of have to wait and see what happens for the rest of this season. As always, though, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Jayden Daniels is QB1 from this rookie class this year? Honestly, right now, it looks like he's going to be the best quarterback from the class if he continues to play like this. I did not fully expect this. I thought Caleb was going to be good. Personally, for me, I still think Drake May might be the best quarterback of the bunch. We have yet to see him, though, so time will only tell if it's going to be Jayden Daniels, Caleb Williams, hell, Bo Nix maybe. Who knows? Drake May. We'll find out one day. But right now, as of today, it looks like Jayden Daniels. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, though, about the Commanders just completely showing up on national TV and beating the brakes off the Bengals. And as always, if you guys did enjoy the content, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. That makes me want to keep putting out more content for you guys each day of the week. We're going to be trying to do 5 uploads a week for you guys to keep you posted on all NFL news. So make sure that you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure that you also enter my giveaway if you have not. Jump in my Discord over on Twitter as well. Hit the giveaway over there. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.